Hey, this is Terry, and in this video I want to discuss some of the options available to you in the way of system building with the Prisma line of products, our modular line of products to be specific. And there are a lot of different options available to you. In fact, we purposely designed it so that you can configure any system to meet any need as far as we think possible. And so to a certain degree, combined with modularity and with the different products we have on offer, you can put together exactly what is needed, either in a full Primare system or adding to an existing system that may or may not already have Primare products in it. And so what we need to determine first, essentially, for an entire system is what is our central control product, be it an integrated amplifier or preamplifier with power amplifier. So we have the option of the Pre-35, A35.2, the I-35 that we have here, or the I-25. And each of those three, the Pre-35, I-35, I-25, have the opportunity to be used solely as an analog integrated amplifier or preamplifier, or to have the digital analog conversion stage or the Prisma network player technology added to it. So let's assume, for the sake of argument, that we've decided that we don't need the separates, the Pre-35, the A35.2. We want to have the power delivery that the I-35 can provide with balanced input that the I-25 doesn't have. And so we've selected our I-35 as the base model for our system building. Now we need to make a determination whether we want that to remain all analog or make it the analog and digital control center for our system. There's an advantage of keeping the integrated amplifier and especially the preamplifier stage all analog. It can lower noise, and we don't have some of the digital circuitry that can possibly reduce some of the subtle nuances that could be delivered by the integrated amplifier in an all analog mode. Now, we've done a lot of testing, and we don't really believe that the integration of the digital to analog conversion stage or Prisma module introduces that kind of noise. But for those who wish to keep their analog separate from their digital, you have that option available to you. And when we're talking about analog, obviously you have our R35 moving magnet moving coil phonostage that can then plug into that balanced input for the lowest noise floor that that connection system can provide. But let's return now to the digital input source. If we're using an all analog I-35, we can use the CD35 Prisma to introduce digital playback. And that's digital playback in almost all its forms, whether that is a CD disc playback or stored or streamed digital media. Now, the CD35 itself is available in a couple different options. It's available as a CD player only, so if you don't want the network playback, you don't need it. You can get just beautiful, rich CD playback from the CD35. And then, if you want the network player aspects of that product, you can put the Prisma module into it. And with that Prisma module into it, again, we have that full digital resource. Now, the only possible issue, and I'll spin this around just to kind of give you an idea of what I'm talking about, is that while we do have some digital inputs with the Prisma board, in particular a USB-A input, and Ethernet as well as Wi-Fi input, it doesn't really allow us to take a digital signal from, say, another CD player or another digital source and connect it digitally to the system. Now, if that's the case, then we can very easily then put the D to A stage into the I-35 and then have multiple digital inputs to accommodate that need. Likewise, it could be that having the Prisma module in the I-35, in the control center, gives us some level of advantage when it comes to multi-room, multi-zone connectivity, volume control ease, and the like. And so it could very well be that, given the fact that we don't believe that there is really any noise that's generated when we put our D to A converter and our Prisma module in, the decision may be to incorporate all the digital control circuitry into the I-35. That said, if you have the Prisma module, you have the D to A conversion module, you may decide that having a full CD player may not be needed. And that's the reason why we have the DD35 digital transport, CD player disk transport. And so with that, you provide a digital signal directly to the DAC stage of the I-35. Now, that said, there are some believe that the ESS chip we're using in the CD35 might be subtly better sounding than the AKM chip that we're using in that DAC stage. And it does. That ESS chip offers a little layer of subtle resolution that the AKM chip might not provide, although there are some folks that like what they perceive as the purity of the AKM chip. You may have to listen to judge for yourself. So there is the potential that you may still want to have a full CD35 player if that's the focus of your digital playback. Otherwise, having the DD35 to deliver the CD disk signal to the DAC on the I-35 may be the best option. Now, I've only covered a few of the aspects here in this video. You'll have to take a look at the website to see all the other options that might be available, and to do so, go to primare.net.